Hey guys, it's Jen. So I thought of doing a video right now because it's totally appropriate. I'm driving up to Cupertino, which is my where I grew up most of my life. And the other day, earlier this week, I actually went to my first NA, Narcotics Anonymous meeting to support a friend. I'm not an addict, but it was really interesting because the speaker that day was talking about how she was raised very tiger parent, Asian parents, and never learned how to talk about her emotions. So eventually it turned into a lot of bottling up and not knowing how to express herself, and that leading into addiction. So that really just got me thinking. I mean, at first I walked into the room unable to relate to anything or anyone, but I thought that it was really interesting. Like, I didn't learn much about emotional intelligence until, I don't know, probably this year, actually. The way I was brought up, it was very academic. We didn't talk too much about who my friends were at school or what I did for fun. I mean, I had after school tutoring. It wasn't like I hung out or did anything on my own time. But it was heavily academia focused and just not much about talking about feelings. It's a lot of fear and guilt and shame based emotions that I had growing up. If I didn't get a good grade, that's all we talked about. So it wasn't something that I should bring up. Anyway, so it just got me thinking about the bigger issue, how when I go home now, I see a lot of my brother's friends because he's still going to school, and there are kids whose parents I have worked for or interned for or whatever, who are so work driven, and they have kids out of this obligation, this Asian obligation. You're supposed to have kids for your parents pretty much, whether you're ready or not to be a parent. It's just that age. You're supposed to get married, you're supposed to this and that, you're supposed to send them to, calculus tutoring in middle school, and they don't realize that it's neither they don't realize or they ignore the fact that their kids are suffering socially. All they do is play video games, or most kids that I grew up with didn't even have that opportunity because, again, they were sent to so much extracurricular stuff. So it's just a big issue. I don't know. I feel like emotional education should be just as important as academic education. Whether you're looking to be an engineer to whether you're looking to do sales or marketing, it's just a super important skill for happiness in life. I didn't start learning about emotional intelligence until it started off with my sales job, actually. Because as an artist, we were all very eccentric personalities, and we didn't know how to socialize, or a lot of us were very just very special. I mean, that just kind of comes with being an artist, though. So starting from sales, that's where I actually learned how to communicate with people using their language, their experiences, and making everything specific. It wasn't just me communicating the way I understand concepts. And earlier this year, I read the book, or the summary, I guess, of the 5 love languages and how to communicate with friends, partners, using their love language, whether that be words of affirmation, touch, time spent, quality time spent, gifts, or acts of service. Growing up, my love languages were always acts of service and time spent. It was in a lot of my phone, hugging or gifting. Like, we don't even exchange gifts for Christmas. We travel together, we take vacations together, things like that. But actually learning how to talk about my emotions didn't start until probably 2 months ago. Like, I didn't realize that a lot of the emotions I felt, the reason why I would beat myself up every time I didn't hit a goal, or I was comparing myself to someone who was, way higher than me, was because I liked the idea of feeling guilty for not hitting my goals. Like, I liked feeling like I'm not good enough. Like, I got off on that, which is really messed up, but in my head I justified it with, like, that's what's going to make me better and stronger and more aggressive towards my goals. And it's totally messed up, and now that I've acknowledged it, that's something that I'm working on. Another one is love avoidance. I actually with a friend flipped through the DSM, and love avoidance is basically a fear of getting close, probably from a past traumatic experience, but putting barriers on purpose when people try to get close. So in a relationship, whether that be cheating or just disappearing, something that I did a lot to people who I didn't want to be around anymore, just vanishing. Once I was able to address that though and recognize patterns where I was putting distance between me and people who were trying to get close to me, or just people who were already close to me, I was able to start taking contrary action and try to change that. And then being aware of this and making active changes myself has made me also a better communicator with my friends around me. Like if someone just came to me because she had relationship problems, and I was able to, really help her figure out why she was having these issues or feeling the way that she did. So I don't know, I just wanted to talk out loud, and if you guys have any ideas, thoughts, or comments, feel free to comment below. All right, thanks.